6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The Health Minister appoints a committee to look into the problems pertaining to the medical services in the country. The State Minister of Agriculture has implemented a number of measures to ensure food security in the country. The Ministry of Technical Affairs has given permission to issue the LP gas brought to the country by LAF Gas Company. Christmas dawns at midnight today. Special operations are being conducted to check on health guidelines during the festive season. Omicron up to 70% less likely to need the hospital care. Jaffna Kings beat Gaul Gladiators by 23 runs in the LPL final to retain the championship. And those are the headlines. Health Minister Kehelia Rambukwella has appointed a committee headed by a retired appeal court judge to look into the problems pertaining to the medical services in the country. Members of the GMOA are engaging in a strike as a protest over annual transfers and several other issues. The minister has also decided to meet the representatives of the GMOA to solve the problem without delay. The minister stressed that there is no political influence in the process of annual doctor transfers and appointments of internships. The State Minister of Agriculture has implemented a number of measures to ensure food security in the country. The government has already taken measures to minimize import of 13 selected crops that can be cultivated locally. The ministry has allocated over 1,200 million rupees to promote local crops including potatoes, big onions, green chilies. Attention has also been focused to enhance the production of big onion seeds. The Ministry of Technical Affairs has given permission to issue the LP gas brought to the country by LAF Gas Company. The Secretary to the Ministry, Jayantha De Silva, says the gas imported by the company is up to the required safety standards. The ship containing the stock of LP gas is now anchored at the Hambantota harbour. He further said that the shortage of LP gas in the market will end soon. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua says special operations are in place to see whether instructions of the Director General of Health Services are followed during the festive season. He said traffic police, STF, police officers and intelligence officers have been deployed for the operations. He further said the information can be given over the hotline numbers 118, 119 and 1917. Meanwhile, the police has also deployed officers to strengthen the security of the public during the festive season. The daily count of COVID-19 cases confirmed in Sri Lanka moved to 554 yesterday, as 82 more people were tested positive for the virus. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of coronavirus reported in the country to 582,149. As many as 558,527 recoveries and 14,832 deaths have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 8,700 active cases in total are currently under medical care. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Christians all over the world, as well as Sri Lankan Christians, are by this time preparing to celebrate the Christmas at midnight today. While the birth of Christ is being celebrated by the worldwide Christians, it is reported from many areas that the island-wide Christians are preparing hastily to celebrate the Christmas. Health officials request the people to strictly follow health guidelines such as keeping social distances and wearing face masks while participating in religious activities. They must avoid of mass gatherings to control spread of COVID-19. And that's top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Washlight, prices of vegetables at Manning Market in Paliagoda fell yesterday morning, said Prabhat Susantha, Deputy Chairman of the Manning Market General Society. The wholesale price of the kilo of a carrot has dropped to 400 rupees yesterday, while a kilo of beans has dropped to 250 rupees. A kilo of eggplant was selling at 300 rupees. It is reported that the prices of vegetables in Dambulla and other economic centres were as usual yesterday. And that was Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
Christmas and New Year sales with CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable prizes and vouchers for CIB beers during the entire month of December. 20% discount will be given for bank cards and for gift vouchers. Visit CIB today as well.
Omicron up to 70% less likely to need hospital care. Ecuador makes a COVID vaccination mandatory for most citizens. World's oldest family tree created using DNA. And those are the headlines of the world news. People catching Omicron are 50% to 70% less likely to need hospital care compared with the previous variants, a major analysis said. The UK Health Security Agency says its early findings are encouraging, but the variant could still lead to a large number of people in hospital. The Health Secretary said it was too early to determine next steps. Ecuador has announced that the COVID-19 vaccine will be mandatory for most citizens, saying the measure is needed because of a rise in infections and the spread of variants such as Omicron. The Health Ministry said there were enough doses to immunize the entire population. Those with a medical justification will be exempted. Scientists have compiled the world's oldest family tree from human bones interred to a 5,700-year-old tomb in the Cotswolds, UK. Analysis of DNA from the tomb's occupants revealed the people buried there were from 5 continuous generations of one extended family. Most of those found in the tomb were descended from 4 women who all had children with the same man. And that's World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
Christmas and New Year sales with CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable prizes and vouchers for CIB beers during the entire month of December. 20% discount will be given for bank cards and for gift vouchers. Visit CIB today as well.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
In order to facilitate the transaction of the people in backward villages, 2 Samurdhi banks were opened at Kopavali and Pulipaindakal in the western sector of the Batticalodes recently. The 2 banks were opened by State Minister Sadasivam Bialendran and Parliamentarian and Coordinating Chairman of the Batticalodes District Development Committee, Sivanesidurai Chandrakanthan.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
Jaffna Kings beat Galle Gladiators by 23 runs in the LPA final to retain the championship at the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium yesterday. Kings, led by Thisara Pereira, lost to Gladiators 3 times in a row earlier in this tournament, but they bounced back to beat them now to win the title with a superb all-round performance. Galle Gladiators, chasing a target of 202 runs, managed to get 179 for 9 wickets. Wanindu Asaranga and Chaturanga De Silva took 2 wickets each for Kings. And that was sports news.
For all foreign currencies remitted through NSB based on the US dollar value, 10 rupees more per dollar, plus more gifts until 31st December 2021. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
After a decade, an Indian carrier, Indigo, is set to operate 4 flights per week to Colombo from Trichy from January 10th. The long-pending Trichy-Colombo-Trichy service of Indigo has been welcomed by the travel sector. The flights will be operated on Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Headline inflation, as measured by the year-on-year change in the National Consumer Price Index, increased to 11.1% in November 2021 from 8.3% in October 2021. Meanwhile, on an annual average basis, the NCPI increased to 6.2% in November 2021 from 5.7% in October 2021.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. There is a possibility of a ground frost in some places in the Nuwara district at the early hours of the morning. Slightly cold weather in the night and early morning is expected over most parts of the island during next few days. Misty conditions can be expected in western Sabraguma, central, north central and Ua provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The Health Minister appoints a committee to look into the problems pertaining to the medical services in the country. The State Minister of Agriculture has implemented a number of measures to ensure food security in the country. The Ministry of Technical Affairs has given permission to issue the LP gas brought to the country by the Laugh Gas Company. Christmas dawns at midnight today. Special operations are in place to check on health guidelines during the festive season. Omicron up to 70% less likely to need hospital care. Jaffna Kings beat Galle Gladiators by 23 runs in the LPL final to retain the championship. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.